A suspected criminal bribery scheme involving then Vice President Joe Biden receiving money from foreign nationals and adjusting policy because of the money that was paid. Look, the House Oversight Committee, this is a bombshell. They believe the FBI has a document with all kinds of facts in it, and they want to see it. Let's put it up. This is not some blogger. This is the House Oversight Committee, everybody. We believe the FBI possesses an unclassified internal document that includes very serious and detailed allegations implicating the current president of the United States. What we don't know is what, if anything, the FBI has done to verify these claims or investigate further. Then Vice President Biden allegedly engaged in a bribery scheme with a foreign national. The subpoena that they issued requires the FBI to produce in unredacted form all FD 1023s that contain the word Biden and all accompanying attachments and documents. Now, so far, they haven't given over anything voluntarily because the FBI, as has become quite apparent here, stands for not Federal Bureau of Investigation, but Friends of Biden Incorporated. I really believe that. That's the way they've been operating for a long time. We have got to revamp that entire bureau. Hats off to James Comer from the House Oversight Committee. This guy's a heavyweight. He's being ignored by much of the fake news, but they're getting valuable work done. And his Senate colleague, whistleblower champion Chuck Grassley, they're the ones who issued this statement. Now, when it comes to Joe Biden, the circumstantial evidence that we can all see and look at has been bad for a long time, going back to the vice presidential years and possibly before that. The Air Force Two trip with Hunter to China, the subsequent meeting in China between Hunter, his father, and some Chinese businessman with ties to intelligence, the Chinese intelligence community. There was the hotel meeting. There was the meeting in Milano, Cafe Milano, where they love to go in the swamp in Georgetown with all these folks from Kazakhstan and the rest. The email from Hunter Biden's boss at Burisma. Thank you very much for introducing me to your father. Had such a pleasure. I mean, Hunter Biden's job at Burisma, of course. Nothing to see here, folks, right? Wrong. The House Oversight Committee has also established $3 million has already been transferred to the Biden family from China shortly after Joe left the vice presidency to a Biden family associate, and $1 million of that was split between Haley, Hunter, and James Biden, Joe's brother. It makes absolutely no sense why they would be doing this. And also, the House Oversight Committee believes at least 6 other Bidens are involved in all of this, possibly grandchildren. Hunter and Haley, oh, by the way, yeah, a couple. Can we just point out once again how weird that was? You do know that Haley was married to Hunter's brother, and then he died, and then they started hooking up, and Hunter was still married. Just a total mess that Joe said he was actually very happy about. Okay. Now, when confronted with all this stuff over the past couple of months, not the FBI, the latest, but all the other matters and the money being distributed, what does Joe always say?
Any reaction to House GOP's new memo about your family dealings, sir? Yes, you're revealing that Hunter Biden's business associate sent over $1 million to 3 of your family members. Any reaction to that report?
Not true. And then he backs up as if he's retreating almost. Well, the Bidens and the lawyers, they should have gotten their story straight on that one because, as he said, it was not true. Hunter Biden's lawyers confirmed it. Hunter Biden, a private citizen with every right to pursue his own business endeavors, joined several business partners in seeking a joint venture with a privately owned, legitimate energy company in China. His own people said this, folks. As part of that joint venture, Hunter received his portion of good faith seed funds, which he shared with his uncle, James Biden, and Haley Biden, of course you would, with whom he was involved with at the time. Yes, as one is, right? And sharing expenses. So bad. The media, they're ignoring all of this. This is, let's face it, this is a little bit juicy. How can they not report on any of this, huh? The White House, they had to issue another denial because of the latest developments with the FBI and the Oversight Committee. For going on 5 years now, Republicans in Congress have been lobbying unfounded, unproven, and I stopped right there, unproven my foot, Hunter Biden's own lawyers confirmed it. By the way, first they said, we're not doing business in China. Then they said, we're doing business in China but not making money. And now, $1 million? At least. All right. Hey, being a Biden kid, what is that like, by the way?
Ladies and gentlemen, the children of the Vice President-elect, Captain Beau Biden, Hunter Biden, and Ashley Biden.
Wow. Welcome to the inauguration. That is January 20th, 2009. Hunter, the late Beau, and Ashley, guests of honor, as their father is sworn in as vice president. Now, when he took the oath of office, something interesting happened. I'd like to show you. Tell me if you see what I see. Here we go.
That I take this obligation freely.
That I take this obligation freely.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
And I will well and faithfully discharge.
Did you catch that? There was a moment, a beat, an extra pause. What was up with that? The question was, will you well and faithfully discharge? Did you hear the pause? Real quick.
And that I will well and faithfully discharge.
And I will well and faithfully discharge.
Well and faithfully discharging the office of the vice presidency would probably entail not having your drug addict son traveling the world, getting involved in shady businesses, and perhaps giving half of his income to you. It's all in the laptop. Is that why he hesitated? Look, this is serious stuff. Remember Lieutenant Colonel Vindman? This guy got annoyed that President Trump didn't read from his talking points, and they impeached the president over it. That was fake. This Biden stuff is real. All right, now this. Part two in the Wall Street Journal's Jeffrey Epstein saga this week, and all of the important and influential people who were seeing Jeffrey Epstein even after his conviction, his sex offenses, right? Having sex with children, sexual relations, a registered sex offender, and the masters of the universe were still hanging out with this guy. There are a lot of rich people out there. Why did they seek him out? All right, first up, you ever see the back of a dollar bill? You notice that thing? I've been fascinated by this. I've looked it up. I still can't understand why this symbol is on the back of the dollar bill. The eye, the pyramid, it's totally creepy. I think we could get something else there, maybe the Statue of Liberty. Anyway, flip it if you will. At one point, this currency, our currency, had the signature of Larry Summers. Now, Larry Summers, Secretary of the Treasury. There he is, right there. That's got to be quite an honor. Your name on all the money. Let's take a look at Larry Summers. There he is. And Larry Summers had some big jobs, not just Secretary of the Treasury. Let's see. He was Deputy Treasury Secretary. He became a tenured professor at Harvard, like 25, president of Harvard University, and then Treasury Secretary. And he was good friends with Jeffrey Epstein. This photo, the two of them, this is years after Jeffrey Epstein had already been convicted of those sex offenses with children. Larry Summers, close associate of Bill Clinton, right? Close associate of Barack Obama, right? And he's hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's go to the story, please. They report that Mr. Summers, who remains a Harvard professor, had more than a dozen meetings scheduled with Epstein from 2013 through 2016, including several dinners, the documents show. Now, they also report that Mr. Summers was looking for money for his wife's nonprofit, but there are a lot of philanthropists in the world, right? I mean, this guy, Epstein, him?
Would you raise your hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter now pending should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am. Would you please state your full name?
I'm Jeffrey Edward Epstein, and my residence address is 6100 Red Hook Boulevard in Virgin Islands.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
What was the crime of which you were convicted?
Two counts, one soliciting prostitution and procuring a minor for prostitution.
Yeah, if you really need money, I'd start a GoFundMe page before reaching out to a guy like this. Fair enough, right? But even rich people, what is their excuse for hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein? You know who Reid Hoffman is? Reid Hoffman started LinkedIn, which I still intend to have a profile. I don't really understand LinkedIn, but anyway, he's one of those corporate big shots, you know, look at me, I created this, therefore I'm smart at everything kind of guy. And what is his net worth? It's, $3 billion. And with that money, well, he spreads it around the Democrat Party. And E. Jean Carroll, that kooky woman who's suing Donald Trump, falsely accusing him of sexual assault. Yeah, he's funding a big chunk of this lawsuit. And oh, by the way, I think it's being spent on clothes. Here's E. Jean Carroll this week, all right? The hair, the clothes. She's on the left in the blue. So let's put her next to what she looked like. Just a new updated version, right? Anyway, that could be Reid Hoffman money you're looking at right there. So what was Reid Hoffman, billionaire, doing with Jeffrey Epstein? Let's go through it. Mr. Hoffman, the LinkedIn co-founder, has apologized for his interactions with Epstein, including inviting him to 2015 to a dinner in Palo Alto with Silicon Valley leaders. Big tech, huh? Mr. Hoffman told the Journal he only once visited Epstein's island residence, Little St. John, Lolita Island, for an MIT fundraising trip. Sure, you go to this island to talk about the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Yes. So overall, what do we have here? We have some very important, very rich, very influential people who run the world, essentially. Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, Reid Hoffman, we just talked about him. William Burns, he was the director of the CIA. He is the director of the CIA. Prince Andrew, Kevin Spacey, Naomi Campbell, she's on the list. Woody Allen, Harvey Weinstein. This is big stuff. And what is the media doing? What do they do with all this information that continues to come out? Nothing to see here, folks. They just talk about other matters. Like, are you ready for this? Tucker Carlson texted someone 2 years ago. That is their big freak out tonight. And it's really unfair to Tucker and anybody, actually, who respects privacy. I'll have more on that when I come back.